Last time on Fate Extra. We going up against Julius, finally! Oh my god! Mr. Julius! Why is your coat blue at the bottom? Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, no! No, no, no! Best girl, no! I am going to murder him! Can you close your eyes for a second? Suddenly, there's a soft touch against my lips. Oh my god! Rin is making out with me! Oh, damn legs! Oh, I love them legs! Oh, I love them legs! Oh my god. Hakuno, don't tell me you were peeking in! No! No, of course not! Ow! I deserve that. I deserve that. Greetings, my beautiful viewers! I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to Fate Extra. So, because I didn't show it last time, very sorry that I didn't, this is where the first cipher key was. So we got the key, I did a little bit of leveling, I am now up to level 33. I'm going by my rule of 1 level per day, and this is the 3rd day, and I couldn't be here for 2 days, so I leveled up, you know, a lot. And now, we're heading back. Oh, thank you, Saber. Oh, but I'm more happy that you're finally doing better and not, you know, risking death anymore. Also, she learned from, like, you know, the first time Assassin attacked her, obviously, so she's not gonna fall for that trick again. Seeing through one of that servant's tricks is a great accomplishment. Now, if we could only see the knave period, that is the rub. To tip the scales in our favor, we'll need to do something about that, Praetor. Yeah, definitely. We don't have the last bit of servant information that we need. Oh, because we haven't seen him yet. Oh, wow. Yeah, keyword, a second strike isn't needed. Second strike isn't needed. This was the second name given to one of the strongest practitioners of Kung Fu in Bajikan history. Considered to be the ultimate master of Bajikan. It is said that this person was able to take the life of his opponents with a single gentle touch. Ooh, boy. That is very bad for us. An invisible servant. Dan Blackmore's servant cloaked his form, but with this servant it's fundamentally different. I also got the sense from my fight with Julius that I'm by far the inferior master. Even with Saber recovered, just landing an attack yesterday was a chore and a half. I have to find a way to penetrate that invisibility, or this won't even be a fight. Second cipher key is generated. Nice. Yikes, the terminal buzzes with a cipher key generation notice. Can I crack that invisibility before time runs out? Being able to see my opponent is a pretty basic requirement, I think. I'll make it my top priority. Maybe Rin can help me develop a strategy. Alright, let's turn in the thing to Taiga first. You found the antique coin! I knew I could count on you. Well, thank you. And what else do you want me to get? Well, bring it on. Lobster. I've never had lobster before. Get one for me, and you will find yourself well rewarded. Okay, she needs a lobster. Okay, well, I can do that, I think. Oh, wait. Before I forget go and power up my servante. Okay, so I'm finally gonna put stuff into agility because I think that that's definitely important. I'm kind of gonna abandon magic and luck and just kind of go all in on the top 3. So yeah. Hey, what up, Rin? Oh, Hakuno! So, how are things going? I guess my servant is getting enough magic for now, so no problems there. However, my real concern is that Saber's sword failed to even touch Julius's servant. Oh god, what now? Seriously, what's with the miserable look on your face? I guess my fear is immediately apparent, something which annoys Rin even more than usual. Your point being? Did you lose your spine somewhere in the arena or something? Oh, wow, that's very harsh. Despite her abuse, she listens intently as I describe my enemy's ability to become invisible. At the very least, not being able to see him will make it impossible for my servant to attack him. I can see why you look so dejected. Finding an enemy you can't see would be impossible. Even Lancer and I would have a seriously tough time finding an invisible opponent. There might be a few ways he can be hiding, such as camouflage or by means of a spell. Another thing is that, being a legendary soul, they may have a number of unknown abilities. I can't do anything until I find out exactly what my enemy is doing, and how they're doing it. So, for now, we should concentrate on finding out how he manages to conceal his presence. Rin suddenly comes out of her contemplative study and regards me with a serious look. Her look couldn't be caused by thoughts of Julius. I can see pity and puzzlement in her eyes. Is she thinking about me? Oh, I hope she's thinking about me. I like it when Rin thinks about me. Did something happen? I start to ask her what happened. She takes a deep breath and looks straight at me. Actually, I do know something. Something about you, anyway. I wasn't sure if I should share this with you or not, but I figured you have the right to know. There's no easy way to put this, so I won't bother trying. I tried to find a link to your body. There isn't one. There's nothing on the other end of your link to this place. You can't remember anything because there's nothing for you to remember. For once, I understood what her words meant the instant she spoke them. At first, I thought your connection was just severed, but I turned out to be wrong. Prior to the start of the Holy Grail War, not a single log regarding your activities exists. The reason I can't find a link is because you have no body to link to. You aren't human. I see. No words come to mind. Honestly, I'm not too surprised. I suspected as much already. Right now, I just appreciate the fact that this girl took the time to help me find the truth. It's said that the NPCs here are recreated using records of those who have lived in the past. My theory is that you are one of those NPCs who somehow gained the powers associated with masters. Some think that if you die in reality, your soul remains behind and you become a cyber ghost. That's why I thought you were an NPC at first. You didn't seem real the way most masters do. That's not very nice. But I mean, like, we are kind of, you know, not really human anymore, I guess. While I nod in sullen understanding, I steel myself to ask the obvious question. Why? Regardless of what I am, I had a feeling this moment of revelation would come. I now know why my memory won't return. Alice's "I finally met you" now makes sense to me. This body, this mind, is not human. I am just a remnant of a real life, a pocket of data, a collection of zeros and ones. Exactly. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but there's nowhere for you to return to. Even if you win the Holy Grail and receive a wish, you'll still be stuck in the Seraph. Unfortunately for you, the words "get out" have absolutely no meaning for you. If you were fighting for survival, you can stop now. After all, you're already dead. I know it's harsh, but better to know the truth now rather than suffer for it later. I hope you agree. That's why I needed to tell you this now. So, knowing what you know, do you still have a reason to keep going? To win the Holy Grail? I really don't want to die. I'll end the Holy Grail War. I have no clue as of yet. I really don't want to die. That's the truth. Though I'm just zeros and ones, I fight and kill living beings. When I think about how pathetic it sounds, my heart turns to ice. But still, I cannot even begin to contemplate the thought of dying. Just allowing myself to disappear into the ether isn't even an option worth considering. I can think of no compelling reason for giving up now, even considering the costs. I wonder, could this desperate desire to live be the last vestige of my previous humanity? When I faced Shinji, Dan, Alice, and Julius, my servant was always there. Also Rin and Leo. I've experienced a lot, suffered a lot, and always did what I thought best. Now, to learn that none of it was real, that I wasn't real, it's not right. To be accurate, you don't have a soul. That doesn't mean you're not alive, more or less. That's kind of sad to think about. For living beings, fighting for survival is legitimate. Even admirable reason is a legitimate, even admirable reason to go on. I don't necessarily think it's the fact that, like, I don't know if that's a translation thing, but it's not that, I think that Hakuno does have a soul, because what it seems to be is that, like, they're either an AI or the remnants of someone's soul. One or the other. And, you know, even if they're just an AI, the fact that they're self-aware and have, like, some form of consciousness means that they are a living creature. And therefore, they shouldn't be written off as being soulless, you know? In the past, anything artificial wasn't thought to be alive and stories thought to have no life. It was believed that true life could only be born from the living. I wonder if people still feel that way, think that way, even now. Though human cloning is still a hotly debated topic, as a magus, my opinion should be obvious. An existence born of data isn't life. That's absolute bullshit. I won't deny that you're alive. After that, she continues on, saying that there may be something waiting for me if I survive this. If the Holy Grail War does what it's said to do, it might be able to give hope to even a virtual life. I get it now. For someone like me who has nothing, is nothing, it shines like a beacon in the dark. Yeah, because technically you get a wish. And if the Moonsail is able to grant it, you know, it's like, hey, I wish to have a body on Earth. You know, maybe that's a possibility of a thing we can have. Look at me when I speak to you, Master. Why are you so worried about such a thing? Saber suddenly appears, but even as she chastises me, I hear a note of concern in her voice. Look at my circumstances. I am from a time so far in the past that only myths and lies remain. Why am I here now? I live because I do. That I exist is all that matters. Yes, I exist, therefore I am. If that is enough for me, shouldn't it be enough for you? In the end, life is nothing more than memories. Even those who live are defined by their experiences. Not just me, but all things will one day disappear. But does that make any life pointless? The whole of history is written in the stars. One day we will all be as one beyond the sky. The star that controls all of this, it uses the living to dream of what it can never be. She's really trying to comfort me, at least I think she is. Isn't she? I have no idea how to respond, so I try to flash her a winning smile and hope that it doesn't come across as a sardonic smirk. What was that? Was that my imagination, or did Rin's normally haughty expression slip for a moment? It was nothing. It's just you actually looked determined for once. It caught me off guard. Oh, she's attracted to us. Oh, I love that little hip sway there. Oh, yes. Yes, oh my god, that threesome may still be a possibility. That'll be my wish! Oh my god, I will wish for a threesome with Rin and Saber. That will be my wish! I don't care what anyone else says, that is now my wish. Anyway, have you decided what you want to do? Even if a miracle occurred and you won, you might not receive the promised reward. I mean, the threesome is definitely possible. I know that that's possible. Knowing all this, you're still willing to take on Julius? You ready to fight to the end? For a threesome with you and best girl Nero? Fuck the hell yes! Of course! While I still have lingering doubts, there is one thing I state with absolute confidence.
So?
I see. Yeah, I guess that's the way things have to be. Exactly. Also, I just have to say, like, any of you who are like, really, Hunter, you're wishing for a threesome? Excuse you! Those two got to have a very good time together while I was left to talk to Leo! I deserve that threesome! I'm glad you chose how you did. If you'd given up after all this, I would have killed you myself. I mean, how could you have? I don't see how that would have happened. Alright, enough of the past. From now on, we need to focus on the future. I nod in agreement and silently thank Rin for her concern and her support. I'm sure she wanted to say that running was okay, but there is no reason to continue fighting. But giving up would be wrong. Now, I must win the Holy Grail War in order to shape the future. That's very true. Okay, our first order of business should be to make a preemptive strike against your enemy. A preemptive strike? What does she intend to do? First off, we need to do something about your opponent's invisibility, right? To solve your most pressing problem, I will make 3 traps for you to set in the arena. One will react to talismans, one will react to thaumaturgy, and one will react to your enemy's chi. Whether they're using a spell, item, whatever, we have to find a way to counteract it. Got it. And of course, I agree with what you've suggested. Once I know you're in the arena, I'll pass along to you more detailed instructions. Okay, we have a plan now. All I have to do is place the traps without Julius noticing. Should be, you know, relatively difficult, actually, now that I think about it. Alrighty, we're heading to the second floor of the arena here. Wonder what this one's gonna be. Ooh, human existence is filled with unimaginable despair. Well, that's not exactly wrong. Oh boy. It's like a forest under the water. So you finally made your way into the arena. Okay, now here's what I need you to do. First, here's a map of the arena's second floor. Predicted Julius and company will follow this path. Okay. You will be setting traps in 3 different locations along the paths I mentioned. Each trap tests for a different thing, so they can't be placed together in one place. We'll choose the best areas to place the traps as you walk through the area. Alright, so get to it, okay? Alrighty, I'm on it. So she already hacked the arena and mapped its layout. Her attention to detail is truly amazing. I should take my time and be careful so that all of her assistance doesn't go to waste. Right. Okay, I got an ether crystal. I know that she said, like, I know we're getting close to the path. Well, yeah, this is like a weird, like, underwater jungle. It's really cool. Like an underwater rainforest, honestly. Alright, found the first spot. Alright, let's try here. I'll send you the anti-artifice trap now. Once you get it, put your terminal against the field. Okay. Following Rin's instructions, I touch my terminal to the ground. The It seems as if the trap code is being encoded into the arena. The installation of the trap is complete. This is a simple interrupter that will react to any equipment that a servant might be using. If that servant is using something to make himself invisible, this will let us know immediately. Cool.
Okay. 次に行きましょう.
Right. Moving on to the next. Alright, time for the second one. Hakuno, that area right there seems as good a place as any. Let me send you the anti-thaumaturgy trap. Now put your terminal against the field. As per Rin's instructions, I touch my terminal to the ground. Okay, installation complete. This trap will be set off if he's using thaumaturgy to hide himself. I have the feeling that this is the one most likely to work. Maybe. Oh, wow. Alright, time for the last one, but I am an explorer. I like exploring. Oh, I was going the right way anyway. Okay. I thought I was going the wrong way. This is the last one. Hey, Hakuno, put it right there. I'm sending the anti-spirit trap now. Put your terminal against the field. Following Rin's command, I touch my terminal to the ground. The data for the final trap is inserted into the field. This trap has a way of disrupting the spirit as it flows along a person's meridian lines. Anything that requires advanced martial art techniques or serious concentration will be set off. However, don't get your hopes up. I doubt that anything will happen. Yeah, this is the one that actually works, by the way. Really, it's impossible to become invisible without an item or thaumaturgy. Oh, well, whatever. Alright, mission complete! It isn't really all that much, but it should give us some sort of clue. In this war, invisibility is invincibility. Being invisible gives him an overwhelming advantage. Okay, I guess all he can do now is wait for tomorrow. Oh, bye! Oh, that was adorable. Looks like the way to the next trigger is blocked. I should just head back now. Or maybe I should stick around and get some more training in. I don't think I'll do like a lot of training right now because I just finished a huge bit of training, but I will explore as much of the arena as I can. I found a secret! Nice. And what are you? Magnificent garments. Okay. I've closed that way off for now in order to force Julius and his servant to go where we want them. It's more of a desperate bluff than anything, though. Just leave it alone for now. Okay. Well, I guess that's as far as I can go over here. I think I'll head back for the day, then. I'll get back to where the entrance is and leave. Alrighty, we'll head back for today because there's not much else we can do. So how many times have I mentioned that I love the Nero sleeping noises? I swear to God, if we made a drinking game out of that, oh my God, I would be dead. I would have to drink too much alcohol. Oh my God. Rin and Saber's words have touched me. They fill my empty cup with water, so to speak. Oh, that's nice. I have no way of knowing if the water is pure at this point. Even so, I can see where I need to go from here. You have more resolve to your countenance. Have you found the answer you've been looking for? Thanks to my friends and allies. I thought I was alone, but that couldn't have been more wrong. I have Rin and Saber to lean on. I know they both want my inner resolve to well up on its own. Just knowing that, I feel like my cup overflows. Although it's up to me to make sure the water's pure. Oh, that's actually a good it's a good analogy. I really like it. One thing they've taught me is that I shouldn't be ashamed, even if I'm empty now. Saber gently smiles as I explain my heartfelt sentiments. Alright, now I'm ready to fight. My next opponent is Julius, who's been an obstacle from the start. By the time I defeat him, I should be able to accept what I am. That's great. The main character doesn't get the greatest character development, but they do get the development that they need personally. I only have 2 more days to prepare for the Elimination Battle. I need to learn the secret behind Julius' servant's ability to conceal himself and then defeat it. In order to successfully pull off the plan I set in motion yesterday, I need to lay low. I should talk to Rin one last time and then head into the arena. Now, if I remember right, there's an extra scene with Leo in here. There we go. As long as I'm researching Julius, I should look into the Harways as well, hence the library. The Harway family leads a Western European plutocracy. It is a corporation with numerous subsidiaries that control many nations and has its own army. Oh, damn. 30% of the world's land and 60% of the world's wealth, based on GDP, belongs to the Harways. Harways distribute the world's resources and wealth equally among the nations. That's their policy. That policy rubs certain groups the wrong way, and those groups retaliate with terrorist acts. Oh, look who has returned! It's Leo, the next head of the Harway family. Maybe he can confirm some of the things I've just learned about the Harway family. For instance, do they really think equal distribution of the world's wealth will lead to world peace? Of course it will, and of course we can do it. So long as the ruler who presides over it is perfect, the government will be fair and just. What must he think of those who reject the Harway's ideals? Well, it is true that our little Western European plutocracy isn't perfect at the moment. Selfish, perverse individuals do reside within our hierarchy. Rin Tosaka's displeasure is founded. But once I become head, I will eradicate those cancers and usher in a new era of human history. A bold claim. He spoke without trepidation and without attachment to the current era that he plans to discard. Now that I've given you a taste of my utopia, I must be off. Please use your remaining time wisely. Alright, I certainly will. I think that's about all I can get from here. Okay. Time to go talk to Rin about our trap. Good work setting the traps yesterday, Hakuno. You know what comes next, right? We need to drive Julius straight to those traps. And for that, I have a plan. A plan? Despite her bantering tone, it was obvious that Rin was being dead serious. I want you to go into the arena and set up several ambushes next to the traps, Hakuno. If I manage it in time, I should be able to force Julius to enter the arena. Rin will be doing that alone? Without a servant? That'd be incredibly dangerous. She might be killed in the attempt. I cannot allow her to risk her life for such a mad plan. I will not. The dream of my threesome is not gonna die with you. Don't worry about me. I've been going in alone so far. Why should I stop now? Because you don't have a servant now! Seriously, relax. I don't want to relax. I don't want you to die. I'll make sure that everything goes as planned. It had better. My threesome is not possible without you. Quite literally. However, none of this will matter if Rin is murdered by Julius. Although slightly startled by my vehemence, Rin somehow silences me with one of her glares. Please don't insult me. Unlike you, I've survived situations far more lethal than this. That's fair. That's fair. Also, I just want to note how, my dream of, saving Rin was upgraded from just her touching me to her then making out with me, which she did, and now her, full on having a threesome with me and Saber. She is definitely climbing the ranks of best girl, but, no one will ever dethrone Nero. No one can dethrone Nero. Many have tried. The Fate version of Nobunaga Oda, seen here on the right, definitely tried. Just because I love Nobunaga Oda, the actual historical figure, and oh my god, I love this version of Nobunaga Oda so much. And they even have, an updated version which, has 3 different forms, and all 3 of them are really fucking cool. But even then, even with my absolute fanaticism over Nobunaga Oda, I could not betray my love for Best Girl. There's just nothing. If I was forced to choose, any character in the Fate series that I absolutely pick as the best, it is Nero Claudius. 100%. She will always be Best Girl. Either way, Rin is doing something dangerous and I do not approve. This is just another dangerous situation amongst many. That doesn't make it better! So don't worry, I am going to worry! If I fail, I die. And I don't plan on dying just yet. Well, good. You have to have that threesome with us. At that time, Julius will probably lose it, right? If I die or not, he'll come out ahead. That's not the point! As Rin continues to prattle on, I take her into my arms! She seems fragile in my embrace! Oh, I upgraded from her touching me to me touching her! I am hugging her! Hey, what the hell are you... What am I doing? I don't even know. The fear I feel for this girl who can so casually shrug off death overwhelms me. It just now hits me how cruel and vicious her daily life must have been. Oh. What I do know is behind her cold, hateful face is a caring person worthy of respect. And even though I understand the necessity, I do not want to put Rin in any danger. Julius is the kind of person who'd kill anyone in his way, especially someone like Rin. But I can't do this alone. For that reason, I cannot push Rin away. Idiot. That's the very reason why I'm doing my best. Oh my god, we shared a beautiful moment! That's so great! Oh my god, I love it! That was so good! We are definitely having that threesome now! And Nero's already had a taste, so I am pretty, I am 99% sure that if Hakuno went to Nero and was like, so, would you like to have a threesome with me and Rin? Her answer would be, I am already naked, let's do this. Thank you, Hakuno. But this is how I am, and how I will always be. Even if I'm no longer a master. If I'm going to die, I want to go down fighting until my last breath. But really, I don't plan on dying yet. You just concentrate on exposing Julius' servant. I can see her determination in her eyes. I have no choice but to match her strength. The plan will succeed regardless of what may happen. Oh, that was so good, but it makes me scared for her. Alrighty, into the arena we go. Master, do not fret. We have prepared as best we can. Now all we can do is wait for the enemy. You've put a lot of effort into those traps. Do not let your impatience overcome you. That's right. We've done as much preparation as we could. Now it's just a matter of following the plan. Alrighty, let's do this thing. Are you in the arena yet? Go wait by where you set the traps, and I'll drive Julius your way. While I'm worried about Rin's safety, I need to focus on what I need to do now. I better hurry and head to where the traps are set before Julius and his servant arrive.
良い成果を期待する。
I expect favorable results too, Saber. Let's fucking do this. Oh, they're here! What could that terrorist possibly be plotting to do now? We won't be able to move until we have more information. But first, I must take care of that young girl. Now then, it seems like you've been plotting something. I wonder what exactly. There's nothing particularly wrong. Let's go. Oh, they're here, all right. Oh, damn. All right, the first trap is here. Here we are. This is the place where the anti-artifact trap was set. If it reacts to Julius' servant, it'd mean his invisibility as a result of a talisman such as his noble Phantasm. As I hide myself in the shadows and wait for Julius to pass by, I receive a message from Rin. Oh my god, she's okay. Julius entered the arena. The rest is up to you, Hakuno. Oh, I don't like that! Rin! I can hear from my terminal now is static. She said Julius was heading this way, but what did Rin? Pull yourself together, fool! Rin did what she had to. Our turn will come. They will be here soon. This fight will decide our fate, so failure is not an option. I've gotta calm down. Rin fulfilled her promise. Now it's up to me to hold up my end. I cannot fail now. Hmm? Is there something wrong? Huh? No. I was momentarily distracted by a triviality. Oh, no, it's not even worth swatting a fly over. I see. Nothing. Now, if this one didn't react, it means that his invisibility isn't dependent on an item or a noble phantasm. This particular trap did not respond. Master, let us move to the next trap and hope for better results. Saber's right. It'd be a total disaster if the next trap triggered without us being there. We have to move quickly to the next trap and hope that something happens. We made it. This is where we set the second trap. The one that's set to react to thaumaturgy. And just like before, I hide in the shadows and wait for Julius to arrive. They're here. I can feel the presence of that master, but I cannot see them. Perhaps they hope to ambush us. That could be the case. So do we withdraw, Julius? Remember that even a mouse will fight when cornered. No need. I'm still on edge after that skirmish with that tiresome girl. If our foe is here, I will crush them. Heh, you seem obsessed with our enemy. But then again, you two couldn't possibly be more different from... Is there something wrong? It's almost as if he was aware of our plan. Julius Servant stopped and then glanced in my direction. Huh. How can you tell that if he's invisible? My feet suddenly feel like they've been nailed to the ground and my blood seems to freeze in my veins. No, it is nothing. You seem to be aching for a fight, and far be it from me to dampen your enthusiasm. They're going the wrong way. Did they actually overlook us? Or are they just toying with us before striking a potentially fatal blow? As they move on, my paralysis fades away, leaving me with clenched fists and drenched in sweat. As I take a deep breath, I realize that the trap didn't react in any way. So the servant isn't using thaumaturgy. Only one trap remains. Hopefully third time's the charm. At any rate, I need to hurry to where the third trap is. Alright, the final trap. This is the third and final trap. The anti-spirit trap. If we can't break through his invisibility by disrupting his chi, we're pretty much dead. It's almost time. Not this again. What a disappointment. I guess they aren't smart enough to know that such things don't affect me. Such irritating insolence. Do you know where they are hiding? Oh! Oh yeah! He's visible! This trap. I see. So you managed to move both the heavens and the earth. What is happening? Truly amazing! Most excellent, Julius. It seems our enemy is allied with a magus of the highest order. This trap uses all 8 divinations of Tao. To force my chi back into myself is quite an accomplishment. As is obvious, you've overcome my concealment, and the injury you've inflicted will take days to heal. This isn't the time for mirth. Be alert for the enemy, as they must be close by. There's no need for you to panic, Julius. Our enemies are right there. Close enough to reach out and touch. Oh, he knows we're here. That glance wasn't random after all. A sinister smile forms on the servant's lips. In contrast, Julius's expression remains frozen, but the terror his presence causes courses through me. So you have somehow controlled the flow of your energy with martial art to conceal your presence. However, if we are to cross blades, servant, at least extend the courtesy of telling me your class. I must respect the fact that you have decided to fight rather than flee. Very well, my class is assassin. As though that wasn't obvious already, you know. Once again, I commend you on defeating my concealment. No other opponent has managed that before. And despite my class, I will never say that any life is worthless. If I am to asphyxiate a target, I'd rather it be a lion than a rat. But still, I am doomed to do only evil. An assassin who attacks only from the shadows would dare attack an emperor such as I? A poor jest. Your skills are now useless. Your final curtain draws near, assassin. Is that so? Do you think even for an instant that stealth is my only useful skill? Though you may have the form of a young girl, you're one of the truly powerful legendary souls. It appears that this battle will be one to be excited about. So you dare to label me as nothing more than a child? It is you who are beyond callow, assassin. Your attempts to slander my greatness are vulgar and offensive. But I am magnanimous, if nothing else. I shall end your puerile taunting by simply removing your tongue. Interesting. But I have no intention of allowing you to take either my life or my tongue. With that said, I cannot maintain this form for long, but I will at least bestow upon you the torment of hell itself. Here it is. Our test battle against him. Oh my god, I still can't see half of his moves. Shit. Yeah, this is just the best strategy that I've got. Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit, he went invisible again! Oh, good thing he didn't actually do that. Oh god. Oh my god, I don't know what that is. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to get lucky in the next round. Seal guard! Oh shit! I can't guard. That's not good. I'll heal her halfway through, and hopefully that'll be enough for her to get through the fight. I did a good amount of damage to him, though. Oh, that seems bad for me. Holy crap, I got lucky with my guesses. So you hide your true powers, Servant of the Sword. This cannot be the full extent of your powers. Separated by the system, Julius' servant can only bellow at the seriously winded Saber. Did I expect too much of you? If this was your full potential, I will take your life in 2 days hence. I do not understand. How did they survive a confrontation with assassin with so little ability? The only reason why Leo disdains to notice you is the fact that you are one of the masses. However, I still ask why. There is something about you that truly irritates me. Never mind, I don't care. The Elimination Battle will come soon. It is there that this farce will end. With those final words, Julius and his servant fade away, as if they were swallowed by the surrounding darkness. The pressure that seemed to crush everything in the area fades, and my entire being screams with exhaustion. I take a deep breath and look over to Saber, who is standing beside me with a serious expression. I tried my best, but that man is truly incredibly skilled. I see now that it is time to truly test my resolve. Saber continues to mumble, seemingly oblivious to my presence. While trying to decipher their mutterings, my terminal begins to chime. Hakuno, are you still among the living? Rin sounds as if she's in some pain, but surprisingly there's a genuine warmth in her voice. All that matters is that she's alive. I'm so overcome with emotion at hearing her that I grip my terminal to keep my hands from shaking. Are you okay, Rin? Yeah, more or less. I had to burn through all my protective programs, though. But I am still alive, so no worries. More importantly, how did our plan go? Thanks to you, Rin, we were able to reveal Assassin's presence with the anti-spirit trap you created. With what we discovered, we should be able to fight them. I see. Good. I'll restore full access to the arena for you now, but don't feel you have to push yourself today. Sorry to bail on you, but I really gotta get some sleep. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. That's fair. Now I can forge ahead and explore the areas beyond here. The identity of Julius' servant and Saber's behavior concern me, but I have no time to look into it. I have to keep moving forward, being sure that I don't forget to track down the triggers. Right. Alright, I wish we could have gotten to Matrix 3 before the fight, but, oh well. No way! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, it happened again. Oh my fucking god. Ugh. Ugh.
剣部ソナさんに風と消える怪我はないかマスター
So, as embarrassing as it was, yes, I did get beat the shit out of by that Nephilim thing, but I got it back because I redid the Julius fight, and I managed to not use any of my skills and everything, just barely. I almost died. But yeah, that's why I have like full everything now in case anyone stepped away for a second. Alrighty then. Time for us to continue exploring the rest of this place. There is this area is definitely, you know, a good size, but definitely not quite as big as the last area was, the one where we fought Dracula and the anorexic clown lady. Whoa! What is that thing? That thing is huge! Oh my god! Well, definitely glad I decided to redo that so I have some stuff left for this asshole. Oh my god, the fuck. Oh, and I'm stunned? My god! Oh wow, am I gonna kill it? Oh, almost, not quite. Okay, the thing wasn't as big of a threat as I thought it was gonna be, but still. Ow. And how much are you worth? Oh, a good amount, too. Oh, that's good. Very good. But I'm more interested in... Yeah, the shiny lobster! I got that for, Taiga. Oh, no, 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 no! Are you fucking kidding me? I lost to one of the fucking birds! Oh my god, and now I have to redo all of that again. Oh my god. Oh my god, I have to redo all of that again. I am really, really angry about this. This is really fucking annoying. You know, this would be far less annoying if I didn't have to redo the fight with Julius every fucking time! Alright, I got the damn thing. Okay. Okay, we're done with this place for now. We're just gonna leave, and on the final day that we can come here to train, which I'm gonna double check and make sure that I get that, by the way. Yep, tomorrow we get to just train to our heart's content. I want to take a bath too, Nero. Can we climb in the bath together, please? I would be very happy with that. You have a reason to be exhausted, dear Saber. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey, yay. Oh my god. Second strike isn't needed, and obfuscation. Okay. Obfuscation. A skill that can completely conceal one's presence. Although this ability allows the user to become almost completely invisible, the sheer amount of magical energy required almost screams out that some form of thaumaturgy is being used. Should this person's opponent be a skilled magus, their presence would be noticeable in some extrasensory fashion. There is a way to achieve this state of being without the use of any kind of magical aid, and using only the abilities inherited within one's own physical form, but the level of concentration required is far beyond what humans are capable of. Yeah, but he can fucking do it. That's the point. While a common skill of all servants of the assassin class, the level to which he is able to almost completely obscure his presence goes far above the limits normally associated with the ability. Okay. Concealment A, a technique in which one uses their chi to blend in with the whole of their surroundings. For masters of the ability, it is possible for them to truly become one with the world and have their very form seem to become invisible. Well, fuck. Would love to save it a progress. Love to save it a progress. Yesterday's plan succeeded, and the form of Julius' servant was finally revealed. He obfuscates his presence, going seemingly invisible by melting into his environment. Now I know how he does it, but I don't know if I can win. Today's the last day of the prep period. Tomorrow I'll settle the score with Julius. I should do everything I can so that I have no regrets. Right, good plan. I'm also worried about Rin. I have to thank her for yesterday. Oh, she's here. Oh, good.
あら、
Oh, Hakuno. Hey, I almost completely forgot to congratulate you on yesterday. Nice work. It was all thanks to Rin. After hearing her pained voice yesterday, I was worried about her. Well, we did go at it for a second, but don't worry about it. I've had worse injuries. Oh my god, you're injured? No! Injury? I know I shouldn't have let her put herself in harm's way. I said don't worry about it. I knew enough about Julius to avoid the worst of his attacks. Even being focused on evading him as I was, I knew I could survive at least one hit. But enough about me. Did you get a good look at his servant? Or figure out who he is? Julius' servant. I didn't uncover his identity, but I was able to break through his ability to hide his presence by disrupting his chi. Impressive! He must be a kung fu master whose skills at concealment allow him to become one with nature. Julius' servant is probably a legendary soul with a martial arts pedigree. A kung fu master. Well, that would explain his fighting style. If his mastery of kung fu is that advanced, it should make it easier to discern his identity. Today's your last full day to prepare, so get to it. You'll be facing Julius after all. With that, Rin turns and walks away. Today is my last full day to prepare. I better make the most of it. Yep. Training in the arena, then head to the chapel. There's so much I still need to do. Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna read something in the library. Martial artists who perfected the art of concealment. There are very few people who've managed that. As I continue reading about martial arts masters, I come across more information regarding concealment. Concealment. A very powerful technique that only a handful of warriors, most notably Bajiquan masters of the Qing dynasty, were able to master. By harnessing their vital energy, masters of this technique were able to make themselves one with heaven and earth. Doing this allowed them to effectively fade into the background, making them invisible. Bajiquan, that might be the fighting style that Julius' servant used. Considering the uniqueness of the form and its characteristic heavy blows, I'm probably not too far off. Beating him will be a challenge, but this knowledge will help. All I can do is trust in my servant's power. Alrighty, Taiga, here's your lobster. And what are you giving me in return? A tea service! Oh, that's nice. That's cool. Not what I wanted, but cool. How should I say this? You may have become a powerful master, but you're still vulnerable. What is it you're lacking? Is it insufficient preparation, or is it, paucity of information? What is with her? Every time I see her, she immediately starts lambasting me without any warning whatsoever. If I weren't so numb to my situation, I'd probably just go back to my room and sob in humiliation. Oh, wow. Numb? Try blissfully ignorant. It'd be more accurate. Anyway, Hakuno, I have time on my hands, so if you want to ask something, do so now. Of course, I'll only answer questions that pertain to being a master. I normally can't be bothered with things like this, but I'm feeling generous, so ask away. Although I'm a little wary of her offer of help, the opportunity is too good to pass up. I think that I think that Rin appears here regardless of who you choose in the scenario, but I think it would have been better to have Ronnie here in her route, because then it would, thing of oh, I'm worried to ask for her help, even though we've gotten so close recently and everything. It doesn't make sense. That, and she's actually being nice for her, anyway. So let me see. Your thoughts on the Holy Grail? I want to know how she feels about the nature of the Holy Grail War. Not about the system per se, but the fact you have to kill to live. Huh? I'm honestly surprised you're still hung up on that. I can tell you're still in shock that people are dying in this Holy Grail War. I wonder if it could be that your entire view of the Holy Grail War is completely wrong. While I agree the conditions are severe, I cannot say that they are unreasonable. Everything has its limits. The land, the resources, reputation, and even time itself is finite. I mean, for people, but I mean, time itself will go on forever. Everyone has different goals, and the resources to fulfill them are limited, which leads to conflict. To have your wish granted and another's wish must be denied, and that's the way of the world. The rules found here in the Seraph are simple compared to those that govern the real world. I mean, in the real world, innocent bystanders are frequently victims of the fighting around them. Compared to that, the terms of the Holy Grail War are quite fair. I'd go so far as to say moral. The motivation and consequences are made clear, and there are no innocents here, except for there seem to be a bunch of people that entered not knowing what it was, so I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, Shinji being a prime example of that. Our backgrounds are probably totally different, so my reasoning might not make sense to you. And don't forget that conflict between individuals is not necessarily a bad thing. Understand your foe to win. Anticipate your opponent to win. Respect your opponent to win. These three things are what I consider to be the essence of the Grail War. How this reality came to be the Holy Grail War, I honestly couldn't tell you. I personally think the system was created for the purpose of better understanding mankind. So, is there anything else you'd like to ask about? Yes, there is. What about, what is the fate of the world? That is a very good question. I want to ask about the fate of the world, because I have no memories of the past, or what it's like on Earth. Everything is a mystery to me. Seems that even after being told, nothing has really registered with you. It's obvious you still have no idea what the state of the real world is in. Let me try to explain it again from a different angle. The world is doomed to wither and die. It's not going to happen right away, of course, but there's no easy identifiable danger to prevent. There was a global catastrophe 30 years ago, but it actually helped stabilize the population. However, with the massive loss of life, all progress came to a crashing halt. Now there's no war, no famine, no poverty, but there's no advancement, only stasis. New discoveries, scientific breakthroughs, even space travel have all come to a standstill. Mankind has yet to even explore the moon. History itself has somehow been corrupted. Oh, wow. So this exists in a time period, this exists in a reality where there was some huge catastrophic event before the 2000s that basically stopped space exploration. Holy shit. Since the near extinction of mankind, human society has stagnated, like water in a marsh. The Haraway family wants to keep the status quo, as it is easier to maintain than change. That may work in the short term, but resource scarcity and environmental decay isn't far off. Like walking down an incline, it's only really noticeable if you look ahead instead of at your feet. And if the incline was endless and there was no hope at the end, would you keep going? I don't hold to that fatalistic view. That's why I'm here, to fight against a hopeless future. To defeat the short-sighted plutocrats who'd allow the world to rot away, namely the Haraways. Oh, I'm not saying that I should win because of my desire to save the world. The value of a person's wish isn't determined by its grandeur or its intent. Everyone has their own reasons for entering. I just thought I'd share mine with you. Okay, I'm good. Thanks anyway. I don't really have anything particular to ask. Sorry if you think I was wasting your time. Is that so? Well, if you say so, I'm surprised at your diligence, to be honest. I mean, I already asked a bunch of questions. I don't know why the script doesn't reflect that. If I ask anything stupid, I'd just get ripped apart. Silence is sometimes the best option. Haha. Oh, you were busy? Sorry for holding you up? I'll take it you were going to the arena? Be careful. As She watches me go, she raises a hand and waves at me. That was totally unexpected. Could today be the one day of the year when Rin is actually in a good mood? I mean, she did survive a near-death experience, so possibly? You seem pretty confident and ready to face what's coming. Even your servant seems 100%. Honestly, I've never even entertained the possibility of defeating Kuzuki, but the more I think about it, the more I begin to feel that you're the one I should be worried about. Well, that's very true. Very, very true. Alrighty, I'm gonna head inside, and I'm just basically gonna do a little bit of leveling. I don't know how much I'm gonna do, because the level I'm supposed to be at is 28, and I'm at 33. I may just go up to 34 and call it good, because I don't really feel like grinding a lot and everything. And, you know, I want to get to the end of this episode, so yeah. I'll be back in just a bit, guys. Okay, so I'm up to level 34. I'm as ready as I'm gonna be, so I'm gonna go up against Julius. I could have spent more time here, like power leveling and everything, but I really didn't feel like it, especially because I am 6 levels above where I should be, so yeah. Oh, this is different. Oh, we have tea now. Praetor, I have a proposal. Her voice is quiet. I've never seen Saber so serious and sincere as she is now. Her diamond-bright eyes cut into mine as she announces she desires to entrust her finest weapon to me.
次こそキャツラとの決戦になる。透明化を封じたと言っても、勝算は未だ低い。
We are facing an elimination battle. Although we have robbed them of stealth, we may very well lose.
これはそなたの問題ではない。そなたは十分に育った。剣として劣っているのは世の方だ。
The fault is not yours. You have matured significantly. The one who lacks polish is your blade. And unfortunately, she's talking about herself because she views herself as, you know, her master's, you know, blade.
よって、次の戦いで宝具を開示したい。最後の相手まで温存すると言ったのは世だが、それもここまで。
So I wish to use my noble phantasm in the next battle. We can no longer save it for the final fight.
世は全力をもって暗殺者を打倒する。そしてその時こそ、そなたは世の神明を知ることになろう。
I wish for my full strength in order to defeat those assassins. And so, it is time you learned my true name.
そうだな。宝具を明かすは神明をも明かすこと。それを避けていたのは単に。
To reveal one's noble phantasm is tantamount to speaking one's true name.
我が悪名をそなたに知られるのが怖かっただけなのかもしれない。
Perhaps I put this off so long because I was afraid of letting you know my bad reputation.
だが、その恐れすら今はない。そなたならば、我が神明を知った上でも、共に戦ってくれると信じている。
However, that fear has vanished. I believe you will still fight with me once you know. And then Saber tells me the name of her noble phantasm. Noble phantasms are voice-activated, and the name itself reveals a lot about a legendary soul. When Saber uses her noble phantasm, her identity will be laid bare. Wow, I'm only at level 2 with my, ally servant information. Holy shit.
キャツとの決戦時、いつ解放するかは、そなたに任せた。
I leave it up to you to decide when and if to unleash it during the Elimination Battle.
だから、それまでは口にせず、世の神明を知ることもしないでほしい。
That is why, until then, I will not speak my own true name, as I do not wish for you to know of it.
すべては決戦の後、勝利を迎えた後に、世の名前を語るとしよう。
After we emerge from this battle in the Colosseum, I will speak my name. Well, that is definitely something that, she trusts us with, and that is amazing. Not to mention, it's, like, great motivation for me. I remember when I was first playing this, man, like, I was literally like, oh my god, like, because, like, when I first played, like, I had no idea who Saber was, because I was like, it's definitely not Artoria from, like, the original Fate series, but then who is she? And then, like, I won't, like, like, I've already spoiled it, it's Nero Claudius and everything, but I mean, like, for me, it's been, like, remembering that, like, she trusts us this much. I mean, like, this is all the things that made me fall in love with Saber's character, was just this. The fact that she puts so much trust in you and wholeheartedly gives herself over to, like, you in a form of trust as to let you know what her noble phantasm is, because she fears that we won't win without it. And I mean, it's like, it's a huge sign of respect, and I love it. Like using Codecast, press square while in the battle to use your servant's noble phantasm. Saber's noble phantasm, Theater of the Deranged, can be used after the 4th turn of battle. Once used, your foe will take damage, and their strength and endurance will weaken over the course of 3 turns. Also, your servant's noble phantasm can only be used once in battle. Be sure to use it to your greatest advantage. Got it. We're up against Julius and his Chinese master assassin. Oh, whoops! I didn't look at mine. Well, I'll do that in just a bit here. Already. I mean, already. Ha! Alright, let's learn what we have to. Let's speak with Saber here.
ついに世と同格の無駄遣いっぷりに至ったか。我が奏者ながら見事である。
I commend you, Praetor. I never dreamed you would reach my level of extravagance.
仮に世とそなたが婚姻した場合、この国は滅びるであろう。
Oh, I love it.
というか、世は滅ぼした。
If you were my consort, together we would bankrupt the country. Though I could do that alone.
これでまた一つ、世とそなたの絆が増えた。
Oh, really? Still, marriage is not an ill-suited word to describe this newly formed bond between us.
そなたを見習って、世もスキルの消費魔力を増やしてみよう。
Following your example, I will try to increase my magic consumption through improved skills. I don't know if that... I don't know if consuming more magic is a good thing, Saber, especially not when Rin is supplying it right now.
何？その分威力は増す。そなたは気にせず、懲りずにガンガンアイテムを世に貢ぐがよい。
My power will ripen as a result, but I still expect to receive a tithy of items from you. Ooh, artillery applause changed into thunderous applause! Nice! I didn't even know that was gonna happen! Holy shit! I'm guessing it's because I'm at such a high level. Ah, my enemy is strong. The strongest yet, without a doubt. At least if I piece together what information I know, I might survive a little longer against him. Julius Belkist Harway. He's the Harway family's assassin and an enemy since day one. Saber was fooled by his servant's ability to enlarge his body, speed up his movements, obfuscate his presence. Julius's servant can obfuscate his presence, which allowed him to take out Saber in one blow. Then Julius's servant attacked us again, and Saber saw through it. The attack was magic circuit disruption, a blade of fighting energy, magic that bends light. It was a magic circuit disruption. Right, from his attack, I deduced that the enemy uses a special form of martial arts. After witnessing him in action, I have no doubt he's a master. In one blow, he skews his target's nervous and circulatory systems, as well as their magic circuits. Julius Servant claimed that his technique was so effective that a second strike was needless. For anyone unable to sense his presence, that would indeed be a one-hit KO. To get around his invisibility, we set up traps to disable it. Thanks to the traps, we learned the source of his invisibility was... state-of-the-art optic camouflage, I wish. Martial arts technique, thaumaturgical concealment. A martial arts technique. Alrighty, we have all the enemy information. Right, it was Bajikwan technique based on becoming one with the universe called concealment. It is also a sign that Julius' servant reached a level of kung fu that few martial artists ever do. In other words, Julius Servant was a kung fu master. There's only one kung fu master in history who claimed he needed no second strike. Yep. Li Shven. Called the Master of the Demon Fist, he was both valorous martial artist and assassin. Julius is a professional assassin. He knows a heck of a lot more about killing than I do. On top of that, his servant is a martial arts master. They're a match made in heaven. I wonder how long I'll last against the two of them. Well, we're about to find out, we are. Oh, wow. We have all of Saber's skills now. Holy crap. Speaking of Saber, why don't we look in the Matrix about her? Noble Phantasm. Ostis Dominus Aria. Golden Theater of the Deranged. A theater based on the palace Nero had built after her original one burned to the ground. Called the Domus Arena, it was a grand villa built upon the ruins of the homes of the aristocracy that once covered the famed Esquiline Hill. Historical accounts paint Nero as somewhat delusional, and she herself has claimed that she was an artist and performer of such incredible gifts that only the god Apollo could match her skills. She would often perform for the masses, but those spectators would frequently leave midway through her performances. She was so enraged by this obvious act of disrespect that she would order all entrances to the theater in which she was performing to be sealed until the final curtain fell. Oh wow, that's very on point for her. This noble phantasm is based on the highest and most difficult principle of thaumaturgy and superficially resembles a reality marble, though its effects are far more profound. It creates a reality in which one's imperial aspirations can be fully realized, which for Nero and her imagination and her, depths of creativity and everything, even if she wasn't the greatest performer, she is still highly creative and very, very intelligent. So yeah, makes her very dangerous. And that's all we got on her. Yep, Li Shuven, and character background we'll get to once we get to the end of this little segment. Alrighty, we're gonna enter the Colosseum. Let's do it. Kill or be killed, we know that much already. 1 and a 2! Break it a seal! And now we march toward what could be our certain death. I mean, Julius is a hell of an opponent. I always love that side profile there. That's so cool. I don't think Julius ever expected to actually go into the Elimination Battle. He probably thought he would take care of us early. Even after all those attacks, the fire inside you still seems to be burning brightly. What a pleasant surprise. You improved much since we last met in that sealed space. Assassin, please refrain from idle banter. Relax, I'm just making conversation. Getting to know your opponent is the ultimate luxury. My foes usually crumble from a single blow of my fist. So I find this Holy Grail War to be truly enjoyable. Originally, the martial arts were a fight for one's life, with the weight of years behind one's fists. The opportunity for two people to face each other and try to crush each other's lives comes but rarely. Wouldn't you agree with me? Anyway, it seems like you have something you'd like to say to my master. This master of concealment and the strongest martial arts of all time must have saw something in my mane. There's definitely something I want to say to Julius, to whom I have several mysterious connections to, but... For what purpose do you fight? For what purpose? Seeing to it that Leo makes his way to the Holy Grail safely. That is my purpose. You serve your younger brother? Do I serve Leo? Of course I do. From the moment he was born, it was Leo's destiny to become the next head of the Harway family. As a member of the Harway family, it is only natural that I serve Leo. You're the eldest, yet you follow? I am what some would call an illegitimate child. But even if my birth were sanctioned, Leo is the culmination of the whole of Harway history. There were no opposition to his becoming the next head of the Harway family. I see. So basically, they specifically probably bred him, like, you know, like, almost like you would like a racehorse, you know? Like, you know, like making sure like everything about like, you know, his like breeding and genes and everything were perfect so that he would be the perfect leader to the family. At least that's what it seems like, which is, you know, fucked up in a lot of ways. A low roar begins to sound as the elevator comes to a halt. Enough of this meaningless talk. Let us go, assassin. Understood! There are only a few battles remaining. Let's make the most of the ones that lie ahead. In one sudden movement, the man clad in all black turns around. Those dark, merciless eyes they used to scare the hell out of me. They no longer have any effect. Meeting his gaze, I step into the Colosseum. And this is it! It seethes! It seethes! My blood, my flesh, martial arts flourish near death. I have shed the complacency of earlier and have been born anew, thirsting for blood, like the Kyuki. Yes, it's like I've become young again. You are strong, stronger than any enemy so far. Now, let us compare our strengths. Show me what lies beyond perfection. Wolf, your sheep's clothing has peeled off. Now you would be more suitable for another class. Indeed, you do better not to restrain yourself to your delicate master's limits. You are weaker than a traitor's king's manservant before the emperor. Weaker than a candle's flame, and... You say you are an assassin, but that is my domain. My life was riddled with conspiracy. Let's do it. Indeed, my fists need no second strike. As if you could defeat us. In one strike you will understand my martial arts prowess. Here we go. We're up against the assassin himself. Live or die by the sword. Alrighty. Let's play this smart. Looks like he might use his noble phantasm right off the bat, and I can't see where it is. I see a skill there, so I'm just gonna block that. Thrice Setting Sun is dead. Well, actually, he's gonna. I should use that when I block. When he's got the block up, that's probably for the best. Actually, Oh, Blossom of the Court requires Noble Phantasm. Damn. Can't use that yet. Lowers the enemy's guard and weakens them. Holy shit, that's nice. Okay. Let's go! I thought he was gonna do that. Oh, shit! I am in trouble. Well, I'm not dead. That's good news. Holy shit! I survived! Oh my god! Holy fuck balls. Wow, Thunderous Applause is gonna do a lot more damage now. Boy, let's, God, I don't know where he's gonna use the Noble Phantasm. Shit. Whoa, that does a lot more damage now! Holy fuck! Oh, I might be in trouble. Well, I'm not dead yet. That's good news. Oh no, I don't want to use that because I definitely want to use Blossom of the Court when I can. That's a free hit. Alright. I've taken him down by a lot. Ah, damn it, he had to be blocking. Oh, that was just luck. Damn it, it seals my guard. Ah, it's time for me to use my Noble Phantasm. It can only be used on, like, the 4th turn or later, so... Can I use it now? Yes! Alright, and I'll save that 50, for in case he, gets me again. Like, because that way, like, I'll come back from another hit, so that'll be good. Well, sorry, man, I can use the skill that, like, Thrice Setting Sun again, since I'll have enough magic for it. Holy shit! Oh my god, I'm actually doing really well! Here it is! The Golden Theater! Blossom of the Court! They can't block! Oh, I see when he's gonna use his. Let's do it! Alright. Oh shit, it broke through anyway. But this is why I have thrice setting sun. Oh no, are you kidding me? I lost! Oh my god, I thought I had this in the bag. Retry battle. Yes, please. Oh my god! I'm glad they don't make me go through all of that again. I'll get back to the point that I was. Hold on, guys. We're back to where we were, and I figured out that I had it wrong. So, I can use it on the 4th round. Not the 4th turn, I can use it at the beginning, which I really should have did. And once more, the Golden Theater arises. This time I'm not going to waste the opportunity that it gives us. Holy shit, that's a lot of damage! Alrighty. I'm still gonna block there, but I figured out if I should have used my code cast right after that, but I didn't. I should have healed her right afterwards, because, you know, no matter what, even if I block, it hits me. I mean, I didn't know that my first time going through, but I do now. Damn. There we go. We're so close. Oh, damn. I'm gonna take the risk and try to use Veil of Petals. It's a risk, but I'm pretty sure I can win it. Come on. Yes! I got him! I'm the only performer here in this theater, bitch. I really do think without that noble Phantasm, we'd have been in deep shit, though. The battle has been decided. The famed warrior of the fists walks to Julius' side as he speaks. The black-clad harbinger of death has fallen to one knee and crouches on the ground. Julius, I won't insult you with excuses, but I will give you my thanks. It's been a long time since I've been in the world. Thanks to you, I was able to fight in it again. Whoa, what did he do? The command seal on Julius' hand flashes and starts to vanish. You've reached your final moment. Raise your head. What's wrong, Julius? I can't die yet. A scream that sounds like it's been wrenched from his heart echoes in the chamber. What are you? I cannot die like this! I... He clasps his hands together as if in prayer and continues to deliriously scream. I don't know if the strange light in his cold eyes is a blaze of madness or what. Julius begins reciting words that sound like a code or a spell in an anguished tone. His reckless opposition to the system causes him so much pain that he can't stop screaming. He's resisting it with every fiber of his being because he feels that his mission isn't over yet, I guess. He's bent and his face twisted in pain from defiance. He nevertheless faces imminent deletion. It's a shamefully uncharacteristic display of desperation, and then... Look in his eyes as he throws his head back and cries out is pure madness. Holy shit. Damn! They're just gone. Holy fuck. After the flash of light, the two of them have disappeared without a trace. I wonder what happened to Julius. I have no idea. All I know is that he's gone. That means I'm the winner of the 5th round. Starting to feel like the end goal is in sight for a change. For a change, I feel invigorated. As I return to the school building from the battlefield, I close my eyes and empty my exhausted mind. Thrill of victory, the agony of Julius's scream, the sense of a lingering presence, all gone. Suddenly I notice there's a person in front of me. It's Leo. I just defeated Julius, his brother. It only makes sense that Leo would be here. He would want to know the results of the battle. I didn't expect you to defeat my brother. I'm shocked, honestly. This changes my opinion of you. You are strong. I see that now. Leo's voice is so detached. It's not betraying any emotion. As far as I can tell, he doesn't seem to be harboring any feelings of revenge, hate, or the like. I'm not sure I should ask, but I couldn't stop myself. That's an odd question. Why would I resent you? People die in battles. This time around it just happened to be my older brother, that's all. The only noteworthy thing is that you exceeded my expectations. I think his words are sincere. Leo's tone of voice, body language, and facial expression back up what he's saying. The only thing that's different is that I see you in a changed light. I can finally see you for what you are, a fine and proper enemy. So much heat in that gaze. Leo just softly smiled like usual, but this time... What is this? I don't want to stay here anymore. I don't want to face Leo anymore. It's just as if his eyes were the sun, gentle yet searing. Like my skin is being burnt away, Leo's emotions really did change. He's never shown that much emotion before. Why did he choose to show it to me, of all people? Me, a stranger. Me, his future enemy. That's right. Perhaps you'll end up being my final opponent. Huh. That's sort of exciting. I look forward to it if that happens. Well then, I look forward to when we meet on the battlefield. That said, Leo left. As soon as he was gone, my back tingled. I check it out. I find my clothes are sticking to the sweat on my back. Oh boy. Leo is as unrelenting as Julius, if not as obviously sinister. It's like the north wind and the sun. I feel like Leo was more advanced than me for sure. I mean, he obviously is. He was bred to be a fucking king. The sun sits in the sky as king of the world, the chosen one. I've never thought about how far away it is before. Hopelessly far. But eventually, I have to reach out and fight it, because only one person can obtain the Holy Grail. Alright.
世のドムスアウレアを開いたのだ。マスターであるそなたはもう知っているとは思うが、改めて名乗ろう。
Yeah. You know of my Domus Aurea, Master. I will once again speak my name, though I believe you already know.
世の神名はネロ。ネロ・クラウディウス・カエサル・アウグストゥス・ゲルマニクスである。
Yep. My true name is Nero. Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanius. Servant Matrix is level 3 now. Holy shit. I can't hide my astonishment when she repeats her name. Nero Claudius. Haha! Best girl, Nero. 5th Emperor of the Roman Empire. A decadent tyrant who indulged in every luxury and pleasure. A dilettante artist who persecuted Christians and tried to disassemble the core of Rome, the Senate. As a result, Nero was accused of treason, abdicated the throne, and ran off to commit suicide. How could Emperor Nero, who met such a pathetic end, be the same person as this girl? Or could it be that I don't want to imagine her being in such despair she would take her own life? It really is true, though. Nero lost everything and felt that it was the only thing she could do. And in, like, actual history, like, what's really sad about Nero is because of, you know, the Fate series, I researched Nero. The sad thing is that Nero only committed suicide because Nero thought that the Senate was going to execute them. Because their entire life was nothing but betrayal. Their entire life was nothing but assassination attempts on them, and assassination successes that Nero performed on others. So, of course, Nero didn't think there'd be any mercy. So, when, you know, the Senate was sending soldiers after Nero, like, basically to, like, you know, Nero's villa, like, on the outskirts of Rome, Nero thought that the only thing that could be done was to commit suicide. In fact, in, like, actual history, Nero asked their best friend to commit suicide before them so that they knew how to do it right. Like, that's just how selfish Nero was. I don't think that they included that in, like, this version of it, but Nero did commit suicide not knowing that they would have spared, you know, her. She had no idea.
そなたは本当に隠し事ができぬな。よい。考えていることは大体わかる。
Oh my god, I want to protect that smile so bad. We share a bond, Master. I know what you are thinking.
世は確かに暴君であり、多くの命を積み、その末路にふさわしい醜悪な最後を迎えた。
Yes, I was a tyrannical emperor who injured the lives of many, and who met an ugly end.
それも事実だ。否定はせん。だが何恥じるところはない。
I will not deny the facts, neither should I be ashamed of them.
世は最後まで世として生きた。それが全てだ。後悔はあれ。否定などするものか。
I have my regrets, but I was true to myself through everything, and that is all that matters. She's just so strong. Her heart doesn't waver, totally unlike mine. Anyway, whatever happened to Saber not wanting to let her... Whatever happened to Saber not wanting to let her know about her bad reputation?
そなたにだけだ。他の奴らが何を思うと世には届かぬわ。
I said that because your opinion matters to me, though I am not one to cave to others' assessments. Oh god, she's so embarrassed and blushing, it's so adorable. Saber clears her throat with a loud cough and straightens herself up. The girl whose small body bore the burden of an entire empire at age 17 places a hand on her chest, as if checking her heart. Oh, she's flustered. Oh boy.
そなたが世を暴君とバビロンの養父とそしるのならば、それも構わぬ。
Praetor, you may call me a tyrant, or even the whore of Babylon, and I will not mind.
なぜなら、どうあっても世はそなたが好きだ。
Because I like you! And like, what she actually said, because that's not a very good translation, she literally just professed her love to us. Like, she literally said, because I love you. Like, she didn't say because I like you. That's a bad translation. She actually said that she is in love with us. I was just like, I remember, like, at this moment before, I was like, oh no, oh, best girl loves me, oh my god, and now I'm like, damn right you do, I love you too, best girl. Oh my god, I love her so much. It hurts, but if you dislike me, I will simply work hard enough to become worthy of your love. Oh, yes, I can endure this pain for you. Just watch. One day I will take your heart. Oh my god, you already have my heart, Nero. You've had it for so long. I love you. I love you so much. Saber squeezes her fists firmly in declaration. Nero, okay, I know I said my dream was like, you know, that threesome, and it still is. But you know what? You get first priority. You come first now. Legitimately and figuratively and literally, you come first. She looks like a child who's trying to really, really hard not to cry. Oh! I love her. I love Nero so much. Why do you smile? Anyways, I have given you my name. Even a poorly regarded emperor is still an emperor, and I will defend you proudly as the best of servants. Yeah, another thing, I think I mentioned this before, but like, Nero shouldn't technically be a Saber. She technically should be more of a caster type, but literally her imperial privilege just basically makes, it's literally like, I'm an emperor, therefore I am now a Saber, and then she just has the skills of a Saber. And that's just how it works, and I love that, it's beautiful. And she chose that because the Saber are the best, like, they're regarded as the most powerful and the best regarded class. So why wouldn't she, Emperor Nero, be a Saber? It was just in her mind, like, it just made sense, and I love it. Part of her history, her life has been criticized for millennia. However, she is not ashamed. Saber is unerringly proud. I know, I love that about her. Because no matter what sort of life she led, it was one that she embraced grandly, and therefore it could never be unsightly. That's true. When I first met Saber, I was gasping for life on the floor thinking I can't die yet. She looked at me proudly. She even embraced me and my situation. She offered her hand to me and came to the aid of my spirit. Though it feels so long since we met, the memory is vivid. So what if she got a bad rep and thinks she's a whatever of Babylon? Doesn't matter. She's definitely not a whore. I mean, no matter what Saber's name or past might be, her pride and confidence are unshakable. And you know, like, Nero was like polyamorous. And, you know, but she did actually marry her manservant, or like, you know, the original one did. They don't really touch on her like her full history, but I mean, like, Nero in real life went both ways and viewed himself as literally like, you know, a figment of beauty, and like, you know, was very feminine in a lot of ways. So honestly, like, gender bending Nero and, you know, making him into a woman in the Fate series honestly works almost better for his character, or now her character, because it makes a lot more sense with, and I'm not saying like, oh, men can't be feminine and beautiful, but I'm saying like, you know, I like the idea, because like, she styles herself as a beauty in men's clothing, and I love that, and it just works so well in a lot of ways, you know? I see. Then give voice to my gratitude. Thank you, Master. You've made me happy. I will never betray the trust you have in me. Oh, that was honestly just beautiful. I love that. That was great. Now we know everything about Li Shuven and everything else. His strength was only a B. His defense wasn't very good, which is why he probably turned invisible. His agility was really high, but his magic and luck were pretty low. Alright, no second strike. Li Shuven's blows are almost always fatal, whether he throws a hard blow designed to kill or a simple feint to draw the opponent into attack. A saying that has managed to survive the passing of years is, "For Li Shuven, a second strike is needless." It is this saying from which his noble phantasm gets its name. To be accurate, this isn't a noble phantasm in the traditional sense of the term. Rather, it is the ultimate expression of the true power possible by mastering the martial arts. Li Shuven is considered to be one of the very few to have gained total mastery over his style, and in fact was believed to have transcended the need for physical attacks, instead defeating his opponents by engulfing them in chi, which would make sense for him. There is much debate as to whether Li Shuven actually uses his chi to defeat his opponents, although the very few who have managed to survive a confrontation with him report suffering all the effects associated with this type of attack, such as obscured senses, heightened state of paranoia, and the feeling that their nervous system is under almost unendurable strain. Oh, damn. Liu Quan, a martial arts a Chinese meditative ideal. It is a belief that true mastery of martial arts comes not through training, but acceptance. As this technique is extremely difficult to understand, let alone master, it is only when archiving the rank of A that it is thought to have actually begun to learn. Okay. Those whose ranks exceeding A are considered true masters of the art. Wow. Li Shuven's his character background. A Chinese martial artist, master from Yanshan country, Hebei, Kangzhou. One of the foremost practitioners of the style known as Baji Quan, he was so powerful that many remarked that with him, a second strike is needless as long as a single blow will suffice. In addition to his skills in hand-to-hand combat, he was also supremely talented in the use of the spear, so much so that he earned the name Divine Spear Li. His occasional use of this weapon sometimes causes his enemies to mistakenly classify him as a lancer. While this wouldn't normally be entirely incorrect, due to his master's desire for a stealthy servant capable of killing from the shadows, the traits more associated with the assassin class have come to the fore. On a final note, since his ability to become invisible is based on his natural abilities and not some form of thaumaturgy, he is all but undetectable to the vast majority of Magi or anyone dependent on magic. Yes. And what's interesting is that in like the Fate Grand Order like mobile game on mobile devices, he actually does manifest in that game as a Lancer, and has actually been said that his Lancer form is him at his most powerful. He's actually not as powerful when he is an assassin. He actually has more skill with spear than he does with just like his regular martial arts techniques. And that's why it's really interesting that he was summoned in his most powerful form in the Fate Grand Order game, although they did recently release a secondary version of him as an older man. All of his hair is gray, and everything, the red hair is completely gone. It's all gray, and he wears cool badass sunglasses, and it's him in his assassin form using his assassin techniques. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to draw him, so I still don't have him, which is sad. Li Shuven, master of the Demon Fist. One of the few undisputed masters of martial arts. Sorry. He maintains a delicate balance between the innate goodness and inherent evil found in all men. He fell victim to poison after earning the undying hatred of countless families of those he had killed. That makes sense. It makes sense the only way they'd be able to kill him is with poison. As a servant, the balance he maintained in life has slipped slightly, but he still values rationality greatly. While he does not see much difference between good and evil, he will react with disgust and utter contempt for those who stray from rational thinking. For those who allow what Christians call the 7 deadly sins to overwhelm their lives, he brings swift and inevitable death. Oh, damn. Although he was known as a deadly fighter throughout his life, in his later years he discovered his true power lay not in the strength of fists, but in the strength of his convictions. He spent the remainder of his life following the path of valor, not violence. He freely acknowledges that in his current incarnation he is nothing more than a professional killer, but does so without bitterness or regret. Although he uses his power as Julius directs, could it be that... Could it be that he's unsatisfied? I don't know. They definitely disappeared, and I guarantee you, though, they'll be back, even if, like, not terribly long. Hakuno Kishi. Yep. Something that I gotta mention, because I wasn't able to put Kishinami, which is, like, the actual name the character was given in canon, because there wasn't enough spaces. That was another thing the Perfect Patch fix, was giving enough spaces for that. True name, Nero Claudius. Keyword, Astus Estus, the embryonic flame, the great fire of Rome. Great Fire of Rome, wow. July 1964 AD, holy shit. A devastating fire erupted in one of the poorer districts of Rome and quickly spread throughout the city, reducing most of it to ashes. Contrary to popular belief, Nero quickly responded to the disaster and even contributed to relief efforts out of her own personal funds. While she became immensely popular with the common citizenry, her populist policies combined with her sometimes bizarre predilections earned her the ire of not only the higher caste, but also of historians who insist on painting her as a tyrant. Nero the Tyrant. Taking the name Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus upon her ascension to the imperial throne, she was the 5th emperor of the Roman Empire and the last of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, who ruled Rome since its inception. Oh, damn. The daughter of the cousin of the 4th emperor, Claudius. She was put upon the throne at the age of 17 as a result of the devious scheming and possible matricide by her mother, Julia Augusta Agrippina. Once on the throne, she immediately began to demonstrate her talents at administration, as well as her ability to navigate the often murky political situation inherited in Roman government. In addition to the above, Nero was also generally acknowledged to be a consummate diplomat who preferred discussion and compromise to warfare and conflict. She was held in especially high esteem by both the people of Britannia and the leaders of the nations of Persia, who continued to refer to Rome as the country of Nero long after her death. That's really cool. While popular abroad and with the lower castes at home, the Senate and higher caste members of the empire grew weary of her populist policies, extravagant expenditures on public entertainments, and occasionally irrational representation of religious expression. Yeah, how she just kind of murdered anyone who believed in the gods. Or like Christianity specifically. In the year 68 AD, a series of revolts drove Nero from the throne and eventually to suicide. It is said that her final hours she continually expressed her anguish that an artist such as herself had to die, but as those who betrayed her closed in, she quoted a line from Homer's Iliad. "Hark, now strikes on my ear the trampling of swift-footed coursers," and then drove a dagger into her throat. Damn. Hoo boy. And with that, we reach the end of this week. Holy shit. Well, like I said, Julius isn't done with. He'll be back. But, as always, this is where we're going to end it. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. Next time, we're going into the 6th week. Holy shit. And we face Leo in the 7th week, so we have one more opponent to go up against, and if you haven't figured it out by now, it'll be kind of obvious when we start it next week. So, as always, if you're enjoying this as much as I am, please like, comment, subscribe it if you are not already, ring that bell for all them notifications and until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers.